We're not recording.
Yay, we're live.
Which means that
we're not live.
Any screw up that you make from here on out is now heard.
To
Are
millions
you ready?
and millions of people.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I am too.
Yay!
Welcome to the Power Chamber Podcast.
The only PCP that's ready, like SpongeBob ready.
Like SpongeBob
like
ready.
Ed ready. That dude's always dressed from Good Burger.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ed and Eddie Ed.
No. Well,
like,
I mean, he's a cartoon, so his clothes don't change at all.
That's not true. They change clothes whenever they're doing the scams.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. They'll don costumes, but that's about it. They have the same clothing style.
Yeah, the Alien-esque episode, do you remember that?
Of Ed and Eddie?
Yeah, where he's like in the costume and he
that's
takes over
right.
his mind. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like a first-person horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's good. It's cartoons. Cartoons, to be specific.
Yeah.
We talked a whole lot about cartoons last
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, we did. Rather randomly because we didn't have anything to talk about. We have few things to talk about for this week.
Yeah. There was not a whole lot going on this week. I mean, big summer blockbusters already came out, so everybody's kind of taking a break.
Finding Dory came out. And
yep, Finding Dory.
I'm sorry, but I could not care less.
I'm kind of right there with you. But I have a thing about Disney sequels. What is your problem with this?
My problem with it is that I just don't like Finding Nemo, like on a personal level. It's just not that it's like a terrible movie. I just didn't like watching it. I didn't have a good experience watching that movie.
Oh.
It was very sad for me.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so I just don't want to watch that movie. Anything associated with that movie, really.
Okay.
Much to it. And the sequel, I'm just kind of like, I didn't even watch reviews because I just don't care.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
To avoid this movie.
Disney is kind of this weird, like it's weird because I'm not like a Disney fan person. It's just like
you don't like Disney movies.
I don't know about that. It's
you like Beauty and the Beast.
I will watch them and I will enjoy them.
I know you.
But I usually just watch one of them, or just like watch them once, and then that'll be it.
Sure.
Like I have this weird thing about songs from Disney movies. Like I can only listen to those when they're part of the movie. I can't like listen to them any other way because it just bothers me.
It bothers you?
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
I mean, it's just weird. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, well, no, this is like, because the way
I don't like all Disney
the way those
songs
movies are
or
built,
all Disney movies.
The way those movies are built, they're just like the songs tell a story and there's a narrative. So I feel like if you just like listen to random Disney songs, I'm not into it. I will, though the exception is Let It Go, because I just think that's like the reverse effect, where that movie, where that song works really well out of context, but in context it doesn't work as well.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
I agree that some Disney songs have a narrative that carries them throughout the story, but Tangled has a lot of songs that you can take out of context.
Yeah,
See the Light
true.
is a very
great.
pop
yeah,
song.
It is. It's
popular music song genre.
And surprisingly, that's just Zachary Levi doing that. I didn't know he could do that. But
yeah.
I knew Mandy Moore could, though. So no surprise there.
Sure.
That's
but you see my point.
Yeah, I do see your point.
But like, if you were to take, and like a lot of the Tarzan soundtrack is just pop music.
Well, yeah, but it's all the same type of, because it's all done by the same artist. I think is
right.
But my main issue with that is it's just like it all kind of works within itself, and I just don't like listening to it where it's like out of context or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
This is very counterintuitive to what I've been doing. I just wanted you to know.
No. I know. I was at the bar.
Yeah.
When you guys were singing all those Disney songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing with me that I just don't like listening to the Disney soundtrack outside of the musical format presented in the film, and even then some of them I'm just like,
you've just condemned yourself, right? Like we're just gonna watch Disney movies for the next couple hours.
Well, I mean, I don't hate them.
Sure.
I just have a differing opinion on all of them. Though, Mulan, the whole thing with, Be a Man.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Like, I hate that song for entirely different reasons. Mostly because it's too son of a bitch and catchy.
It's too much catchy?
Yeah, it's too damn catchy. Like, it's an earworm type thing. Like, you can't just listen to that song and then be done with it.
That was a big thing, though, in the 90s, earworms.
Yeah.
Yeah. NSYNC had them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, anyways, Disney. I don't dislike Disney movies. I don't like them either. I definitely like a good chunk of them, like as films. Sure.
It's just that like I'm not actively like Disney Radio or
Oh
things
sure.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It's just very weird, bizarre.
Yeah.
How my brain goes about it, and. I actually had to watch The Incredibles one more time before I was like, this is really
good. Well, yeah, God, that's going to be such a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, The Incredibles 2 got a release date.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, but it's going to be...
It pushed back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bothered me. God damn it. Oh, I'm so pissed off about it.
Which is weird because you would think that, after X amount of years that they would just be like...
That's my one exception, I just want you to know. For The Incredibles 2...
Oh, yeah.
That's my only Disney sequel that I'm like super excited about. Mm-hmm. I never got on the whole 90s Disney train with like The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 or like Simba's Pride.
Those are direct-to-video type thing. That's a different... That's more... Those were very obviously cash grabs.
Sure, but I mean, the Rugrats in Paris was a huge thing for that.
Well, yeah, but that movie came out in theaters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It got a theater release. It wasn't a straight-to-video thing.
And it wasn't Disney either.
Oh, that's true, Nickelodeon. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. There's only been a couple of Disney movies I think that have gotten sequels, and even then, I don't think any of them were like the classic ones.
Yeah. But the only reason I'm on board for The Incredibles 2 is because Brad Bird is leading the project again, which that guy can just do good movies. Yeah. Iron Giant is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is
fantastic.
And The Incredibles is. It has a few problems, Disney-isms, but otherwise, great movie. It's entertaining. Mm-hmm. Craig T. Nelson and Samuel L. Jackson have great chemistry.
Well, I feel like Samuel L. Jackson has great chemistry with anybody.
I don't know. I saw The Hateful Eight. I have to see it again. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, his chemistry with.
I'm glad we went from Disney to Tarantino.
The other
we skipped a whole bunch of levels.
Well, you brought up Samuel L. Jackson.
He
Where
was
else are we gonna go?
Spielberg.
We could go to Marvel.
It's more kid friendly.
That's Disney.
Universal.
We watch somebody die and get sucked up into a roto, like just a.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, that's right.
In Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I was watching the deaths in that movie, I kept thinking of Disney.
Yeah.
No. I didn't have that experience with Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but whenever Civil War came out, mm-hmm. and I was watching a lot of people be like, "Where does this rank in terms of Marvel movies and whatever?" And people were like redoing their lists and whatever. Yeah. People. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy #2, like, seriously?
People love that movie.
Seriously? Like, I mean, nothing against that movie. It's a fun
Nothing
watch,
even against that concept. I love Deadpool, but Deadpool did it properly,
Well, I mean, they just...
They didn't have any limits.
Yeah.
And this movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, really felt like just a product. Like this is a comic book movie, here you guys go.
Well, I don't know if it's about that. It's just that, like,
No, that's it for me. Is what I'm saying.
It's just like, this is a fun space adventure, but it's also comics.
Yeah.
I can see that. For me, that movie was just kind of like, oh, this is really awesome. I mean, there's not much to it other than this is really, really good Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Except without all the Star Wars-ness to it.
Yeah. It's gonna be Rogue One. That's
and
like the one.
And which is weird because like I like that movie less than most people. Guardians of the Galaxy, but I like Ronan a lot more than other people do.
Ronan the Destroyer? Yeah.
Yeah, the Accuser, that guy is the Power Rangers villain.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, let's do more stuff like that. But people are just like, oh, he's so generic and he's just boring and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and he's played by that one guy from Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
I can't remember.
But yeah, like people were like, Winter Soldier's #1, Guardians of the Galaxy #2. I'm like, no. Mm-mm. I mean,
Winter
Guardians
Soldier
of the Galaxy
is #1.
probably is in the top 5, but it's not #2 or #3 even.
I should watch that movie again as well because I only saw it the one time. Guardians of the Galaxy. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, you did really have like a negative reaction to that movie. I don't know what it was.
I don't know either. Batista was the best part of that movie. Because his conviction was so fucking good.
Well, yeah, he took acting classes as soon as he found out he got the role.
Oh.
Just so that he could do that.
Properly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was super happy about it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons he came back to the WWE was to promote that movie.
Yeah.
But...
Obviously. Yeah, and it exploded.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, and that guy's like an athlete. Last I checked, he was a purple belt. Jiu-jitsu.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big guy for that.
I know. That's just yeah, he's gonna be crippling.
Yeah. I wonder how he was in Spectre.
I don't know.
James Bond. But they're coming back for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And,
yep. CM Punk is also writing Drax comics for Marvel now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's what he's doing while he's not fighting in the UFC like he's supposed to.
He's training.
Training.
It's not going well, but he's training.
It's never gonna happen.
He's not progressing as fast.
It's never gonna happen.
As he probably should, which is what they were saying about it. So it might happen. If it does happen, it's probably gonna just be one match.
Yeah.
Just because, but I mean.
Just because he talks.
I just never thought that he would do that the UFC was the right fit for him.
No, he thrived in the WWE.
Yeah.
He was their guy.
Yeah. Well,
it worked.
He just didn't like the way that they operated.
Neither did Austin.
That is true.
But they made it work because it was working.
He walked out on a promo, dude.
Yeah, they also cut his mic during one of his speeches. They give him a live mic for X amount of minutes at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And they killed his mic and cut the program.
Yeah, which is weird because they had told him that they were, you're just dropping the whole thing.
Yep.
But even after that, after he lost the belt and when he was doing the promo against The Undertaker, after he lost to The Undertaker, he just left. I remember that. He just walked out.
Wow.
And everybody was just like, what? But Brock Lesnar going back to the UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's gonna be in a fight with against somebody. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is weird because I think he's still in contract with the WWE.
He's in independent contract. He's the only independent contract that WWE has or has allowed. He's a freelance wrestler basically.
Which is weird.
It is weird because that dude's like can't. Well, I mean. I don't know. Maybe that's what NXT is for. Sorry. I went through a whole lot of thought processes without you. All right.
Okay.
So, Brock Lesnar likes to hurt people, right? Like, that dude's a fighter. It's the only thing he can do.
Yeah, his match with CM Punk was actually one of the better ones that I saw.
Yeah.
Because he was just beating the crap out of him.
That's what he does. That's what I'm saying. Like, he can't go up against, like, a face.
But he did, though.
Yeah, he does it constantly.
John Cena's arm.
That's what I'm saying. But Cena can take it.
Not sure for how much longer, but he can take
it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it caught up with D-Bry pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He did try to tell him.
A lot of people get hurt in this business.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but at least they're doing other stuff. Edge was on that TV show.
Yeah.
Austin's doing the podcast.
They paired him off with Christian to do their own thing for the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Which is a great idea.
I should get back into that. I haven't seen Raw in a long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially with the brand split that's going to happen between Raw and SmackDown. Like, that's just a thing you got to get back into it just because
so
of that.
happy. Yeah. That was the best part of the 90s when SmackDown and Raw were like at each other's throats. I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it did escalate it past the 90s.
It did.
Right? It was like all the way up until like 2010.
No. There's no way it took that long.
Well, it had to have been after 2008.
Why?
Just because I remember that was when The Undertaker had the belt.
That was
World Heavyweight Champion against Khali and.
Oh wow, that was in 08?
Yeah, that was in 2008.
Oh okay. Yeah, the Ruthless Aggression era was probably my favorite era from the WWE. A lot of people talk about the Attitude Era, and it is good, but man,
yeah, that's true.
The PG era was a bad move. NXT seems to be getting away from that.
Well, again, it goes back to our conversation about like the way that they have it branded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're their own brand. They could start if they do brand split SmackDown and Raw again. They could get NXT in on that.
Yeah, and that's what they plan to do with a lot of the up and comers, or at least, and that's why people were like, "Yeah, that you could bring back older people that used to be in the company that aren't anymore."
Yeah.
To do for the brand split, and you can put those people on SmackDown, like Kurt Angle or Goldberg or John Morrison. I don't think he's doing much.
No, he's certainly not playing Casey Jones, which is why I'm not seeing that movie.
I did watch a couple of reviews for that. The TMNT 2.
What's it called? Like, what's the subtitle?
Out of the Shadows.
Out of the Shadows. Okay.
Yeah, which was the tie-in video game.
Oh.
When the first movie came out.
No, I have no fucking idea.
no, I'm dead serious.
Oh
that's what the title of the video game was for that movie when that movie came out.
Huh.
And then the sequel was called that, and it was weird. A lot of people said the same thing. It's fun, but it doesn't work on a story level, like at all.
It doesn't have a story, or
it's all over the place in terms of story. Just a whole bunch of stuff happens. Shredder is in the movie, but he's not like an active part of it. You know. Then there's Krang, and it's just weird. I did hear that
Krang
Casey Jones
in the movie?
was the worst part of that, because they redid his backstory to be like he was like a former cop, but they said that Stephen Amell doesn't really bring much to the role.
Not. The dude doesn't have a whole lot of personality, unfortunately. Not from what I've seen.
I haven't seen Arrow.
I haven't seen Arrow either, but I'm saying like he doesn't have any natural personality about him. Like I saw what he did in the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, that's
what
right.
Was it?
It was like Survivor Series, I think.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Was it not? Yeah, it was
rather
either Survivor
large
Series or SummerSlam, one of them.
Man, that was a year ago. Jesus.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a fun watch. That one.
It was good. Yeah.
Cody Rhodes left.
Yeah, he just walked out.
Yeah.
Not sure what the hell that was about.
Well, he had apparently been trying for 10 years to get a shot at the belt, and they just wouldn't give it to him. And so at one point, he was just like, "Nope, I'm leaving."
Yeah, can't do anything here.
Yeah,
See ya.
This is not, this is not going to be my legacy. Staying back here doing the Stardust thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he left.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that they gave him was the Money in the Bank against Damien Sandow, which was fun. If I remember. Damien Sandow was let go also.
Yeah.
Which I get because they weren't doing anything with him.
Well, I mean, man, the guy's better than people give him credit for.
Yeah, it's very weird because he started out really pretty good, like doing the intellectual savior stuff.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he broke away from that, they had nothing for him to do.
Yeah, he was in random tag teams. I think he hung out with The Miz for a little while.
Yeah, he was like The Miz's stunt double. Was the thing that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, and that bit actually did carry for a while. The problem is that in between doing that, he was also he was the guy that they would send out in a random costume to get beat by somebody else.
Yeah, that was, the guy who played Doink? That was his thing for a while.
So.
Yeah. And then Jerry Lawler was arrested.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
For beating his girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I
don't know either.
It's just very weird.
It is. A lot of people are going crazy. The world's gone nuts.
Do you think they're going to let him go?
I don't know.
Just
good question. What was he doing?
He's still on Raw? He's still doing the color commentary.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's actually with the Raw roster. Then again, I haven't watched it in recent. I don't know, because I think the last time I saw it was Michael Cole, JBL, and the new guy.
Yeah. Nope.
I forgot his name.
Yep. Haven't seen a whole lot of SmackDown since it became a huge commercial for Raw.
Yep.
Fucking 2-hour commercial for Raw.
It's terrible, man.
But now USA has got both of the products.
Yeah, and then they're going to be separating themselves out, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can have your own separate storylines that don't have to be like, oh, it's the same match
over and over again
for twice a week for 4 weeks, and then pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then revenge, you know. I think that's a lot of people's problems.
They need to start taking a little more risks, I think, in the WWE.
Which, you know, they gave Dean Ambrose the belt, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, so that was the risk that they took.
Yeah, I
guess makes sense. I mean,
the last match I saw him in, I think, was his match against Brock Lesnar.
Oh, and
that one wasn't very good.
Well, we saw his qualifying match for the Money in the Bank, didn't we? I don't know who he faced, and I didn't even think he was going to win. He was one of the new guys.
Ambrose?
No. He was fighting one of the newer, like one of the NXT. I think it might have been actually Kevin Owens, but I don't know if that's true.
That might be true.
Yeah, it was, because
Kevin Owens is
I just
no
thought
longer
that Kevin Owens was going to be
known as the NXT rookie, as far as I know.
Oh yeah,
the dude was the Intercontinental Champion for a while.
Yep.
So anyway,
a random discussion about wrestling.
A long ass discussion about wrestling.
Yeah.
Catching up on that shit. We need to get back into it.
Yeah.
What day is it? It is Monday. Holy shit.
It is Monday, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. We can watch it on Hulu tomorrow if you want.
Totes, Malotes, Ninja.
Ninja, go.
Ninja, go.
Season 6 finally came out.
Yay.
Holla. I had no idea that was like just not a thing that aired in America for a really long time.
Yeah,
I just find this stuff online, and I was like, well, why is there only 6 episodes? You people are very annoying. And it was like that for a little bit, and then I'm like on Tumblr, and people were like, no, nobody in the States has actually seen these because they haven't aired.
Yeah.
And that actually just was a recent thing. On June 9th was when that happened.
Yay! Same thing's happening with Steven Universe right now, so I feel your pain.
Yeah, whenever... Yeah.
It is.
Whenever it did happen, the Hadrian brothers went to Twitter and they were like, finally, you guys are releasing this. We worked really hard. By the way, Lego doesn't want us to spoil anything, so we kind of have to do something else for the weekend. So they went to Legoland.
Oh, that's great.
They seem really into it, which is nice. Because they're the people writing and they understand the lore and whatever. That's part of the reason I don't think that movie's going to be terrible, is because they really do care about all this stuff.
Yeah.
The difficulty...
Having good characters, though, doesn't... Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they would be like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. Well, I don't know. They had Kai do that thing in season 4? Where he was in the diner acting like a tool.
Well, it was a gas station. It was season 3, and it was because they had nobody else to fill that role.
They have Cole. Cole's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah, but Cole was doing the love triangle nonsense.
That's why he should be being that guy.
Yeah, but he was paired off with Nia, and it was stupid. That whole scene, I didn't mention this in the review, but that whole scene just bothers me. They're supposed to be looking for this thing, trying to find out where Pythor is with the Overlord and whatever, and
yeah,
what their whole plan is and what it has to do with Arcturus. and Lloyd is out searching the land, trying to figure out what to do, and Nia, Cole, and Jay are going on a date at the movies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm sitting here going, why? First of all, why would Nia even agree to something like that?
Because she was also suffering inner turmoil. Clearly.
But no, even when you get to that scene, like she would not put herself in that situation, especially if there's something more important going on.
That's true. Well,
yeah, especially when that whole thing just ends with, who do you choose? Oh, I choose Joel. It's really dumb.
Wow.
No, the execution is just bad, and I never got the Cole part of it, and it just seemed very, very weird. I get Jay's view on it because we've spent 2 seasons focusing on that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Only to throw it out immediately, which, on a conceptual level, I can kind of see working, but then you don't really give anything for Cole to latch onto other than he's not Jay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was the reasoning for the whole thing.
Yeah,
he's not Jay.
Yeah,
and she doesn't. She
and
says
it doesn't make any sense. It's even when we go moving forward, the stuff in season 4, they try to bring it back up, and it just doesn't. It doesn't work, and then they just stop. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna bury the hatchet and move on. Because
it
just doesn't make any sense. Nobody's really clamoring for it. We're just going to keep going. Yeah. I do like the stuff that they do with Nia.
Why can't Power Ranger shows do relationships well?
Why? The Power Ranger shows can do relationships really well. They just haven't for a really long time. I think the last good one...
Was it Theo and Lily?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the last one?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
You could use Rose and Dylan. Or no, Summer and Dylan. Sorry. Rose is another thing. But what do you like? Because we haven't really written, and part of the reason that works is because we have these characters and they're fully well-rounded people and they interact well with each other.
Okay, so yeah, the writing doesn't give these actors much to do for Ninjago.
What?
Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Or what's the difference here? What's the difference between Theo and Lily and Casey in this case, that one episode, to this entire season?
Well, part of the reason is that their interactions work really well with each other, and another reason is that they had really good chemistry with each other.
Right.
Just all the people
on screen,
Theo,
sure.
Lily, and Casey all have really good screen chemistry with each other, and it gets to a point, especially when Theo gets super jealous about the whole thing, and they actually they talk about this.
Yeah.
They spend a long time not talking
around
about
the bush.
this.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time not talking about this, and then they just end up just cutting it off right at the end, where she just straight up says, "No, I don't see you that way. You're more like a brother to me. We're not gonna touch this at all."
Yeah, it was just what I'm saying. Yeah. Like they took an entire season to build a quote unquote relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Power Rangers is the love triangle thing. I guess you could argue
they've done it to varying
degrees
of success. Yeah.
Space kind of did it.
Space was not very good in executing the love triangle.
I'm trying to think.
Partly because it was just really weird.
They never tried to do a love triangle thing in MMPR.
Oh, they did it in Time Force. That was a love triangle. Technically, it was a love triangle.
It was a love triangle, but
again,
she thought he was dead.
That's probably the best way that they handled that. Is the love triangle was just that season. Yeah, and again, she didn't think he was dead. She thought
he was dead, and then when he comes back, he's just an asshole to everybody.
Which is weird because we give her that scene
at the beginning of the season.
Well, no. We give her that scene like whenever he comes back in the next episode. She's like, I don't know if I'm in the same place that I was when he died, so I don't know if I can actually be with him anymore.
Yeah,
because of all this crazy stuff that's happened.
She's accepted.
Yeah.
She's gone through everything. We got to see her go through it all too.
Yeah.
What about?
Trying to think. What else?
What other relationships have we had since then? Blake and the other one. Tori, sure.
Yeah. That never went into love triangle. It was kind of weird.
And then after that
was the Trent and Kira, which also doesn't go into the love triangle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Trent and Kira. Anyway. Right.
Yeah.
Very odd. After that, whoa.
It was SPD. Which I don't think actually ever did it.
They never had
did like a ranger
relationship thing.
Yeah, did like a ranger relationship type of thing.
Yeah. Well, they're like a team.
Yeah. Well, it kind of goes into this feuding with Jack and Sky, and that just kind of overtakes the whole thing.
Oh, that's a good point. And their relationship is really, really good.
Yeah.
Their chemistry works.
Yeah. After that, we had Mystic Force.
Mystic Force with what's her name and Nick.
What? Oh yeah, that's right, Maddie.
Yeah.
Oh,
you were like, wait.
Yeah.
Who?
No. When you were like relationships, my mind immediately went to Lily and
Phineas.
Yeah.
They only have a couple of episodes.
I know, but they have so much more.
That.
They have so much better chemistry than anybody really on that show.
Yes, it's because they're both really good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very weird. The whole thing with Maddie and Nick.
What did I say? They make a great yellow and green ring. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very weird because man, they're just really good. Yeah, the actor thing is a good pull.
Yeah. Maddie and Nick take a season though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, take a season to get together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do they ever do the?
I know, because I mean they kind of do it, but the thing that messes it up is that he goes off with his family, just riding motorcycles somewhere.
Right.
And they do have a conversation right before that happens. But it doesn't yeah, really... I mean, it's not like the thing, like, in space, whenever they're like, yo, are you going back to KO-35 and whatever? You know, maybe we come too, stop by Earth, you know? And then they ended. Very Star Trek, that show.
Space was a long time ago.
Yeah.
In the seasons that
after
I saw.
That,
Overdrive.
After that was Overdrive. I don't think we ever...
we never got that either in Overdrive.
No.
And then
I don't know why. I guess you could
Summer and Dylan.
Yeah, Theo and Lily, Summer and Dylan, which
they're.
I'm kind of on the fence with it.
They don't really do a whole lot with it. Like the actors are good with the bits
material,
that they have, but they're very small, like Easter eggs in the show that don't.
Yeah, I personally think that Dylan and Tanaya have a stronger connection. Because they're siblings, so it just kind of works.
Yeah, that's how their characters work. Yeah.
It's really good.
It is good.
I should really get to watching that show.
And then Ziggy and Dr. K's relationship comes out of nowhere. Well,
not
they
really.
had an episode.
No.
They had an entire episode devoted to their relationship.
because their chemistry has been, it's present. It's just, you don't ever think of it in that way. Because she straight up says, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And eventually she just kind of warms up to him, and then you get the clip show episode, which, really delves into that.
It's good.
And then...
I like that episode. I have to watch that show again. Jesus. Anyway.
We have it here.
And then Samurai.
You
remember.
Yeah. Sorry. I went straight to Spike and Mia.
Oh,
that's not the thing you're talking about, is
no.
It? So Mike and Emily thing that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I feel bad for Spike because that should have worked.
The Spike and Mia thing?
Yeah. It would have been great. It would have been reminiscent.
It would have been reminiscent, especially since, Skull never got with Kimberly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's the story that you should be telling. With these characters, but the problem is that we don't have writers for that for Samurai.
Well,
it's the writing that kills that show because everybody showed up. Oh yeah, and also the directing. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Yeah, so we got that, and then we got the Em and Gia thing, or Jake and Gia.
Oh yeah. Which doesn't take a season. It takes 2 seasons.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's very bad. Like, they don't even go... They kind of touch on the love triangle thing.
Oh?
They kind of do.
With Noah?
Yeah.
No.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's very bizarre.
It comes out of nowhere. They did it for the laugh.
Yeah.
And Noah didn't get it, which is hilarious.
Yeah. It was seriously good acting in that episode. I just don't like it.
Yeah, no. The actors in Megaforce are underrated.
Well, I mean, because,
they are.
John
They needed more.
He's good. Yeah, he really did need more. And John Mark Laudenberg really did go all the way with what he was getting.
John Mark Laudenberg did, and so did Azim.
Yeah.
Azim.
Riz? Yeah, Riz.
I don't know what you're saying. That guy.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem with Jake, though, is that he's not given a lot to do. Which, just kind of falters. The biggest thing he's got going is the Gia stuff. The problem is they just don't have chemistry. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
The show really tries to force it. Mega force it, if you will.
I swear to God. All right, we're done. Now, on to...
Chalk that one up.
I'm chalking it into my arm.
Andrew Gray, he just needed better direction.
Yeah, he needed better direction and better... Well, really, everybody needed better direction.
I mean, he's probably
people
the worst
like to talk about
there.
Nick being, Troy being a mannequin.
Yeah,
but everybody kind of has that in Megaforce.
Yeah, just a little bit.
They all suffer from it, except for Robo Knight because he doesn't have a face.
Yeah. Well, also he's supposed to sound robotic, so you just buy it.
Most of his scenes are also Sentai footage, so they're acting's already done.
Yeah. They did have that suit, though. It was a pretty legit suit.
Yeah, they had it for a couple of scenes, like everything in Rock is Back.
No, they didn't. That's not a thing. I'm pretty sure that was all Sentai footage. No, they had it in the big fight. That was awesome. It didn't make any sense, but my God, they just kind of go for it.
Yep.
The problem is that none of that stuff is really earned. The whole thing with Robo Knight and Troy. And it really could have if we just focus on it.
Yeah.
We just dropped it after episode 2. He's like, I know we'll see him again. And it would have been really cool if he was like going into denial. Like, because he had those visions of them fighting together again. And people were just like, you don't understand, this is not real. Not a thing that happened. And then when he dies, it turns out to actually be Orion. Like, seriously, you can rework this to where it makes sense.
No, I agree with you. A lot of things should have been done better.
Yep.
Oh.
So there's your Power Rangers romance discussion.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about...
oh, yeah, that's right. Tyler and Shelby.
Tyler and Shelby, those are the ones. God, there are a lot of names.
Tyler and Shelby, that kind of comes out of just a weird angle. Because you don't really ever get that...
They don't need a love triangle thing. They could... With Chase, don't do that to me. Super Dino Charge.
No. I think the ship has sailed on that. If they were going to do it, they would have done it after
Super Dino Charge
after the first episode, because he's got the whole thing. Let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
But I just never felt the romance connection with Tyler and Shelby up until the whole thing with the bracelet happened. And then they were like, yeah, we're actually going to be doing this.
Yeah, and then, they had their moment in the clip show, the Halloween one.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Well, anyway. They get a good chunk of stuff to do, and it's a credit to those actors that they really, like, even in the finale.
Yeah.
For Dino Charge. Whenever he's like, no, I got to stay and find the red energy gem because he's going to destroy the Megazord if I don't. She's like, well, we can't, we'll come back. Like, no, there's a thing we have to do, and we both know that. The doors closed. It's super dramatic. The problem is that we just drop it. We ended them at a place, and then we just started them in somewhere else.
Yeah, we dropped them into a completely different warp zone.
Yeah.
God, very angry about this.
I don't understand the idea of, hey, let's. I'll keep you bonded to the dinosaur spirits, but you can't actually have your gems?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I can understand it to a point because if it's just
maybe it's like the
Coda and Ivan, it's more along the lines of they just kind of need that artillery. It's kind of like the Prince Philip argument where he's just like, you can use the thing, but I mean even he just kept that thing.
That's true. He still has his.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he was in the finale for.
So I mean,
Dino Charge.
It just is very weird that the following episode really doesn't really pay much attention to how we ended the last thing that we saw.
Oh man!
Right,
and apparently we're like 2 months out still from getting another
episode
of Supercharge,
which I'm looking forward to.
Of course,
only because
I'm stoked.
The Surviving stuff was really good.
Well, yeah. Again, we have good actors doing really good characters, but
it's just the writing's not really helping them out.
Yeah.
In anything. I mean, I like the character stuff that they do. The problem is it just doesn't build on things that we have already established. Except for Chase is probably the one who comes out looking the best with the whole, Dayton thing, and he's super cocky, and it just it works for that character.
Yeah. Chase is coming into his own.
But they ended Tyler's story arc rather prematurely, I think.
Yes,
put
they did.
Coda in a weird place.
A baseball stadium.
Yep. Riley's backstory changed yet again.
Logic, man.
Shelby.
What is your origin story?
Shelby, we moved from starting a relationship with Tyler to not being involved at all, and some other stuff.
Yeah, they don't have anything.
Ivan, we kind of kept consistent, but I think that's because they're not giving him much to do, and he's just allowed to play.
Yeah, yeah. That episode had nothing. It was just a really good moral episode. Your PSA episodes.
Oh, his episode?
Yeah.
The one with the generosity and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I make the argument that you could tie it into his character.
It's hilarious.
What?
Where he goes to the
bank.
Yeah,
no, the bank bit is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it just kind of works.
He goes over and he's just like, 1 bar of gold, please.
Yeah. Yeah. He totally,
He goes to a random bank. He doesn't even know where he left it. He just goes to a random bank.
I left it here a while ago.
Yeah. I don't know. No, it's great. But I make the argument that the reason he's fighting so hard for the museum is because it represents kind of the way he feels about his situation. That he's a relic from the past that brought into the new era.
Yeah.
So he kind of has this connection to all these things, but the problem is he doesn't really verbalize that type of thing to it. It stays in that PSA box of it's great for the community.
Yeah, it doesn't go into the whole respect your elders thing.
Yeah.
When you said relic, that's what I imagined.
No. I definitely get that, especially with the whole generosity. Just the times have changed, and we don't really focus on that many ideals, on those types of ideals the same way.
Yeah,
and we do play with that a little. It just doesn't, not as much as we probably could have. We could have done that last season.
Yeah, we go. We did a lot
because they
season.
do go all the way with the Coda bit in Return of the Caveman.
Yeah,
they go all the way with him filling out a place and whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean that guy's like an animal, I guess.
Yeah,
he's further out of place than Ivan is. Ivan has intellect.
Yeah, and that makes it easier for him to kind of just interact with other people.
Everybody else, yeah.
Yeah.
We can't have that with Return of the Caveman. We needed him to react to one of the Rangers, which we got with Chase for a little while, and can't remember how that turned out.
What with the
what Chase was talking about, about riding a bike.
Yeah. If it has wheels, I know how to ride it. Then again, we could have actually done something with that if we'd have done the appropriate thing with the sports episode. I mean, just change it to skateboarding and it's fine. You can put Chase in the mentor role then.
Yeah.
And then have him get super jealous and change the whole...
Well, I mean, we could make it Ivan. I mean, that guy's a knight.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be Keeper, but he's never fucking there.
He is when it involves Chase. Damn it.
So who do you think is going to get the next focus? Is it going to be Tyler?
Oh, well, it's going to be Shelby. I know that for sure.
Oh.
I read the synopsis for the next episode.
So. What's it called?
Best Friends Forever.
Ooh.
Forever.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So this could go, and I feel really bad about saying this. This could go the route of Stranger Ranger. This really could if we don't actually do this right. Because I read the synopsis.
Does it involve Kendall at all?
No, it doesn't, but it probably will.
It should.
It really should, yeah.
I mean, that's the next step for their relationship.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Because their arc kind of concluded.
Yeah, and it would definitely give Kendall something else to do other than be in the lab and not do anything else.
Yeah. She's looking for the Energems. She thinks she left them in the lab.
Claire Blackwelder did, like somebody had asked her a question about that. She did like a video where somebody had asked her, what's it like to be the Purple Ranger? And she was just like, well, I mean, Kendall still likes being in her lab and doing research things. So, I mean, that's where she feels most comfortable out on the field. It's not really a good thing. And I'm sitting here going, well, then why did you give it to her?
Yeah, well, what the hell's the point?
Maybe I mean, I get that it was like telegraphed. Like everybody was like, oh, it's going to be Kendall who's going to get the Purple Energem.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why are you going to give it to her if you're not going to do anything with it? It's like the thing with Sam.
Oh, yeah. Well, they should have given it to Boom. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. And, after seeing Kelson's just dedication to this whole thing,
yeah, I
agree with you on that. That it would have been much more interesting to do something like that than what we actually did with the...
Well, he survived all of the Disney seasons. Like, all of them.
Yeah. And he was in Megaforce.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's coming back for this season.
I hope so.
I would really enjoy
really like seeing him in Power Morphicon.
Yeah.
I should probably get in touch with somebody.
Okay.
Just like call somebody. Hello. I'd like to speak to whoever's handling the guests. Where's Kelson Henderson?
Kelson Henderson. They need to be in the same room.
Anybody from Jungle Fury.
Yeah. Just anybody.
Yeah. Literally, I would take any of them.
But that's my thoughts on it. It's just like we've
come to a kind of a halt, really, with these characters and with this story.
Yeah.
You can tell that the writers for Supercharged didn't actually see Dino Charge or read it.
Yeah.
The characters don't do what they're supposed to do, but they're the same people. Like,
yeah, that's the weird bit.
That's like, what draws it like
Heckle
so
is still
far.
Heckle, even though
he doesn't do anything. Yeah, he finally got to do something in the Gold Digger episode.
Yeah. And it was fantastic.
Or Gold Binder, that's what they called him.
No, it was Gold. It was Spell Digger.
Spell Digger,
because it was a hybrid monster.
Yeah.
And we actually used that pendant that we were like foreshadowing and whatever.
I knew it was Spellbinder and Gold Digger, but I couldn't figure out what the combination of their names was.
That's a really great episode. Just because we utilize these characters the way that they're supposed to be utilized.
They don't really go all the way with the Tyler and Chase thing being overtaken by the coins. It's more for comedy than it is for the story.
Well, yeah, but it still gives them something to do other than...
Well, yes, I agree. It occupies them.
Yeah. Occupies them.
It does. It keeps them occupied and doing something so that they're not just standing around doing nothing.
Yeah.
In the background of the scene like they've been doing for however many episodes in Supercharge.
But also, like, you get them to just act out of character, and that's one of the best things that this show does whenever you get people to act out of character. It just creates this fun environment. Or even if you have people just be in character, but their character is just outlandish, like Sir Ivan.
Sure. I guess. My problem is that the last character, the only character I can think of that's done that is Summer.
Oh. Yeah.
And that one didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, her personality changes and, like, her character changes, and it's odd. She's obviously doing a character.
I'm in the middle of watching a whole bunch of stuff, so I have to wait to get back to Jungle Fury because that's on pause right now. Because I've been watching Die Ranger, and it's super interesting how that show is just laid out, because the episodes are kind of just like two-parter, just a succession of two-parters. But the two-parters are also character-focused on each of the Rangers as we move on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
And we finally got the Megazord.
Does it feel like an overarching story?
It does,
with
yeah.
two-parters?
Yeah, it does. We
Ninja Storm didn't do that.
We finally got the Megazord like in full, and that thing doesn't show up until like episode 8 or 9.
Huh.
Yeah, which is weird because whenever we focus on the Red Ranger and we straight up rip off Empire Strikes Back, or no, Return of the Jedi, just straight up like rip everything off. Everything, like. Just,
when did Die Ranger air?
90. I want to say it was like it had to have been 94.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, it might have been 93, and Return of the Jedi came out in 83.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Right.
So they straight up ripped off that whole thing, but it's also Japanese, so it was just kind of their interpretation of it. And that's one of the things that I was super interested with, because the way that the story plays out is that, you know, the episode opens with yeah, this is what we've become. The episode opens with the Red Ranger view. He's with his sister at their parents' grave. Like, oh, don't you miss mom and dad? And then they go off and do other things. And the villains, meanwhile, are met by Archduke Evil Guy, who's like this
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah. And he brings in this soldier who apparently betrayed the original Die Rangers and turned evil, but they don't trust him either because he's seen as a traitor to them. So then he comes out and he just beats the crap out of all the Rangers except for the Red Ranger because he was running late. And everybody's like, "What? Who is this guy?" And their master tells them, "Oh, he's this guy. He turned against the Die Rangers and he used to be part of the team, and now he's not, and blah blah blah. And now he's brought back, and you can't understand. You can't fight him because it's been 6,000 years, and he's embraced dark magic, and I have to go out there because he's called me out, and I got to fight him because he's actually captured the other Rangers and is holding them hostage." Except for, I believe, Blue and Red. And he locks Ryu in the storage closet because he's super angry about this and he wants to do something. But he locks him in there because he's like, no, he called me out, so I got to go out there.
Huh.
If you go out there, something terrible could happen. So he goes out, a big action scene ensues. Ryu manages to escape the place and goes out on the field. He immediately gets attacked. And the evil guy's like, I'm going to kill one of your students, master. This is your fault. And he goes in for the sword kill. And he's like, no, that's your son. And they're both like, what? And then he couldn't do it, so he just leaves. And then the Archduke guy's like, you couldn't kill your son? And he electrocutes him. No, I'm dead serious. He electrocutes him. He's like, oh, you couldn't kill your son? I'll do this myself. And he becomes a monster.
Wow.
And he goes out there and he beats the crap out of all of them. Meanwhile, Ryu goes up to his father. He's like, why are you evil? And how have you been alive for 6,000 years? How did you even marry my mom? And he's like, I don't know, but, you know, I am your father. You know it to be true. Yeah. And then it goes out and they have this big action scene with the Archduke guy. And right at the end of it, like, they all demorph and he just uses electricity to throw Ryu around a bit. And meanwhile, evil guy's just standing in the background watching this whole thing. And then right when he's about to go in for the kill, the evil guy attacks the Archduke and stabs him. But he also ends up dying. And so he's just kind of lying on the ground. He's got the full samurai thing with the mask and everything. And then Ryu goes up to him. He's like, Father, why did you do that? He takes off the mask, puts it out, and is looking right at him. He's like, He's like, the reason I married your mother is because I betrayed the other guy and I fell in love with her. And then the other Die Ranger spirits show up and they're like, you've broken the curse and you can actually unlock the thing with all the Zords, so they can become a Megazord now. because that's their super secret power.
They can become a Megazord.
So then they are granted that power on the crystals that they have for the Megazord, and then they kick ass, and it's just the end of it. But it was really weird because I was sitting there watching it going, this is Star Wars. Like, not even in a Ninjago, you turn against your friends, dark side allure type thing.
Oh, sure.
Like, no, this is just straight up the scene.
Yeah. Oh, well, that sounds like the scene, and I haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah, it's
but
very
I know
weird.
the scene.
Yeah,
I do know the scene. Because it's everywhere.
But yeah,
all the time.
It was very weird to watch that because I was like, well, that's interesting. Just a
Japanese watch this show.
Interpretation of a sci-fi, which is weird because Power Rangers was inspired by Star Wars to turn Sentai into a sci-fi thing.
Oh.
Because Zeo Ranger is not sci-fi. That's more like a fantasy-based thing.
Oh.
And they were like, but Star Wars, man, we could do this.
So they're going to be sci-fi for a little while.
I don't know. That's just the basis for Power Rangers. Die Ranger is staying with the Sentai tradition. Most of the Sentais that I've seen have either teams that are descendants of ancient warriors or are the ancient warriors that have been woken up after thousands of years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Power Rangers does a whole lot of sci-fi stuff. We talked about it before.
They start on a sci-fi base and they don't actually go into fantasy stuff until Wild Force.
Yeah. Wild Force was the first one, then Mystic Force, and then Jungle Fury. There are only 3.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
I mean, I guess you could count Ninja Storm, but he refers to himself as an evil space ninja.
Yeah. Fucking hate Ninja Storm.
That's terrible.
Oh my god. Anyway.
But yeah, there's my little mini review of that two-parter. I just wanted to bring it up because I found it so interesting. That just adds, because I wrote about it.
Yeah.
The whole Star Wars thing, and that's why they made it to sci-fi, and that's part of the reason that most animes that were dubbed over in English or became super popular was because of Star Wars. And they really just kind of wanted to focus on the science fiction element. That's why Mobile Suit Gundam was a thing that actually happened. That's why Voltron happened, because of, I'm
starting to wonder if Magi Ranger is anything like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter.
I don't know.
I want my Lord of the Rings Power Rangers show.
You want your Lord of the Rings and Power Rangers show?
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Like
one ring.
If we didn't actually go the teenager route, we could have had that. If the supporting cast wasn't, or was the actual cast, like if you had Lily and Phineas and Claire and the White Ranger and Gold Ranger, if you had all them just as people fighting off this evil in modern day, then you could have actually had something like that. But we don't get it.
Nick comes in, they turn into a sitcom. It's terrible. They do. And Lily's in the background, like in every scene. I don't know why the fuck she's there.
Well, because stage business.
Right, yeah, she lives there. She's often wearing the same thing. Anyway.
So, do we have anything else to talk about?
Well, there's only the one thing that I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Nick a couple of days ago got word that Anton Yelchin died in a freak accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how this is going to affect the Star Wars movies.
Star Trek?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I'm not
we were talking about Star Wars for a little while. I'm sorry.
Just came out, or is coming out. Like, those trailers have been selling that movie, and that must rock them pretty hard, especially, like, that's going to be the most sorrowful premiere.
Yeah.
Especially considering that the guy was so young.
Yeah.
Just died in a freak accident.
Yeah, it was just, like, one of those insane things that you never think could happen.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, that's the only thing that we needed to mention. It's very sad news.
Yes.
And the guy had a lot of talent.
He did.
I actually decided to go ahead and watch Odd Thomas. I've been putting it off for a long time.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I haven't seen it. Never saw it.
I thought you did.
No.
I really enjoy that movie. It's a lot like Scott Pilgrim. It's kind of like a mix of Scott Pilgrim mixed with Pet Sematary in the way that you know how Pet Sematary was written by Stephen King and is very much the dialogue is like from a writer.
Oh, sure.
From like a novelist.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of how Odd Thomas is.
All right.
It's a visual novel. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim, written by Stephen King. I'm so in.
Well, I believe it was what was the other guy?
Michael Cera.
Dan Kuntz.
Yeah.
Who wrote Odd Thomas, and they
is that true?
Yeah, they brought him in to write the screenplay for that movie.
Ooh, interesting.
So sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think I've actually read a Dean Koontz novel. I should, but I haven't. The dude writes a lot of horror stuff. I just never got around to it. Don't know why. Anyway.
I feel like we need to end on a higher note.
Alright. What do you think, like an F?
You know, I knew you were going to do the music thing. I just thought you were going to go, ah.
I thought about it, but I didn't feel like it.
I didn't feel like it.
I didn't.
Yeah, Ninjago Season 6.
Your face is a 6.
Not going to watch that yet, primarily because I'm working on the reviews.
Oh, that's right. Ninjago Season 6 happened.
Yeah,
and we're gonna...
Ninjago Season 4, I'm working on that right now. We're in the video editing process.
Nick's
not sure how
long-term relationship with a TV show right now, so he's not going to be watching it.
Well, I mean, I'm in with this particular season, and I've got a lot to say about Possession. I have a lot to say about this season too, but Possession is like really, is the thing that I really want to talk about. But I ask you guys this question: how do you guys feel about getting a 40-minute video from me? Because that's probably going to be the length of the
review
of the Ninjago review.
That's 4 times longer than your Power Rangers reviews.
Yeah.
As a whole season.
It's going to be the longest video that I've ever done outside of the podcast.
Right, which are unscripted and totally improvised. Yeah. We're that good.
Improvised.
I see. Now we had an awkward silence there. Totally planned. First try.
Nobody saw that.
I know.
But yeah, that's part of the reason. Like, I'm just so focused on where the story is right after season 4 that I can't really jump into season 6 yet.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Where did we even leave off of the Possession story? What happened?
Right at the end. So Lloyd did the Portal Combat thing. Was trapped in separate realms, and Morrow came back, proclaiming himself the actual Green Ninja.
Oh yeah.
And then the ninja are able to stop the Pre-Eminent from actually taking over the world by drowning it. But then Morrow dies also, and he forgives Wu before he poofs. Yeah.
He's not a gem.
No, he does
ghost.
Poof, though.
Yeah, they do poof.
He does poof. So that's why I'm saying.
They're allergic to water.
And right at the end,
Water Ninja.
Lloyd is brought back through the Realm Crystal, brought back to this dimension. He's like, all right, now I'm going to train to be a sensei. Because, that's the path that's laid out for me. And then they're like, yeah, next season. And Season 6 actually does deal with ramifications from Possession.
Oh, man. That's
we traded. I believe we. No. That's not true. Never mind.
Okay.
I was gonna say that we traded Dareth for Ronan, but that's not true. Dareth is very much in
Season 6.
Season 6.
God damn it.
But not too much. The way that show opens is that they're celebrities and he's their manager.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's what Dareth would be doing.
Yeah.
Because nobody else cares enough to do that shit.
Yeah. Brown Ninja.
Yeah, the Brown. I hate Dareth so much. God.
Why do you hate Dareth?
He's strictly comedic relief. He doesn't provide anything to the show.
Yeah, that's true. He's just comic. Yeah, he doesn't really provide much.
Yeah, he's Toby.
In terms of story.
He's Toby.
Yeah.
Toby kind of does stuff. but not really.
We talked about Mystic Force a lot more.
Sorry.
In this,
I'm saying Mystic Force is a better season than you give it credit for. Well, I stand by my decision.
I'm just saying that the ending ruined everything.
Sure, and bad finales can
yeah.
take a hold on a season for you. I'm saying
for me.
Yeah, you hate Super Mega Force because the Legend battle.
Well, I'm just saying.
Brock is Back is an infinitely better episode.
I agree with you.
It's a tiny little movie in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Close to the end of the season.
Had we actually build up on ideas that are brought up in there, it would have worked a lot better. Though is my problem.
That's what I'm saying. I really hate Ninja Storm's finale. Because it didn't do anything more than the episodes had done.
Yeah.
That show sucks. I hated the finale for Overdrive.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't progress.
No, that's not true. The script likes to think that they did.
Yeah. They just...
yeah.
Utah, they do the thing that they do in Super Mega Force when Orion leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
You taught me to be a better person.
Yeah.
What? When?
I just love that Linkara's reaction to it was like, yeah, it's great that he learned all that stuff. Too bad we didn't get to see any of that.
We were busy doing... What the hell were we doing in
random
Super Mega
stuff?
Force?
I guess soon as Orion does things with the story, just kind of...
Yeah...
Cameron Giba's going to be at Paramorphicon now.
Yeah, so we're going to meet that guy.
Get to meet that guy.
Yay.
I'd have to tell him that, he's an infinitely better actor than what that show does. Give him credit for.
Yeah. You were the best part of Super Mega Force. No, he wasn't the best part.
No, he was definitely the best actor there.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the script just gives him nothing. We could have done the love triangle thing with Orion, assuming that it doesn't delve into like a Taizon thing.
Right, but we didn't have one single discussion about how they feel about each other.
Yeah.
Not once. We just know that Jake thinks she's hot. So the entire season is built around Jake trying to bone Gia.
Well, the entire series is kind of like that. But the thing that I find weird about it is that, she doesn't want anything to do with it, but like nothing really changes that. Nothing that he does really changes that mindset. And you could have set it up like imagine that in Endgame he was super protective of her, and she was like, "Oh, you really care." That was so sweet, yeah. And then we can move from there, and then actually put some focus on it, but we don't ever do it.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's more interesting to have will they, won't they, and cock tease the hell out of this.
But it's not.
But it's not.
It's not. Anyway.
So I believe...
How was that for a high note?
Yeah, that was a better high note.
So yeah, thanks for joining our relationship discussion.
Yes. Our Power Rangers relationship discussion.
Yeah.
On the Power Chamber podcast.
I've been Ice Chip Andy. I'll continue to be, but I've been... am and will be. There we go.
And I am Nick, a.k.a. Ironbat 1993. And may the Power Chamber protect you.